what is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review the debut project by GloRilla. Basically this project is called Most Likely Up Next, and it came out in the summer of 2019. So the thing about this particular product is just the fact that GloRilla is kind of more on the come up. So the thing about this particular product is just the fact that GloRilla is kind of one of the new school type folks that's kind of more popping nowadays. That I'd say she recently dropped an album called GloRilla. She recently dropped an album called Glorious as far as those pitch kind of have, and she's starting to get the album type fare kind of similar to like Mulatto and some of those type of folks, or some other ones like Erica Banks and some of those type folks. But yeah, definitely in terms of female rappers, she's one of the more headway type ones that's been making a lot of noise in the past several years, since at least 2022 or so. But I wanted to get to some of this earlier type fare. I'm still kind of up in the air as far as like 2024, 2023 type stuff in certain cases. I mean, I'm starting to have a little bit more meldedness towards it, but I just want to kind of bridge towards it a little bit within the pitch behind it. But I wanted to check out some of GloRilla's earlier stuff. This mixtape is kind of track. This mixtape is particularly kind of tough to track down. The thing about this product is I'm reviewing it is just the fact that there's only one way to really listen to it that I was able to find. It's not on YouTube, it's not on Spotify, it's not on SoundCloud, some of those types of places. The only place I was really able to listen to it, and it was only within the preview type format, so I'm able to listen to like a certain extent of the song, but I wasn't able to listen to it full blown. I didn't feel like purchasing this album to know whether or not it was good before reviewing it, so just within the pitch behind it, I did review it and listen to it. I did listen to it to get towards this particular review, but I did not purchase it firsthand, so just within the pitch, I probably will wind up purchasing it at some stage. But for what it is a pretty enriched type product, definitely pretty quality here, blistering just within the appeal behind it. But that's just kind of the concept. The only real place that you're able to find this particular product is just on iTunes or Apple Music as far as those pitches kind of go. So nice stuff here. Really, the aspect behind it, this is like some trap centric kind of city girls type music. So if you like the appeal, I feel like GloRilla has a very similar cadence and pitch to like JT, the girl JT, and then Young Miami as far as those pairs kind of having some of those type chicas just within the pitch as to how that particular kind of goes. I'd probably say possibly Saweetie too as far as that particular kind of goes, but it's kind of like a bite-sized and kind of pocket type version of that particular type fare, just more scrappy and gruff as far as that particular, just more scrappy and jumpy as far as those pitches kind of have with it. But some good type fare to kind of get. Do like the tone behind it. This is virtually on the cusp of being a classic here. I feel like roll this snappy type product, but it nails the appeal just with being able to do it. Just a lot of turn up on here. Every song on here just has that particular type fare. Just gets right to it. Just the type of fare. Just 2010s trap, some Travis Scott type fare, some of that type ness with like some standard kind of Yo Gotti and Future-esque kind of loomers in there, and just a lot of good vehicle thump as far as that particular kind of goes along with it. So it's just got basically it's definitely got the utilities as far as coming up with like the fare of just being able to get it done. So yeah, pretty much on the cusp of getting a 10 out of 10. I'll go ahead and say the only song I don't recommend out of these 9 songs on here is this Crazy Story, which this is a remix song. It's just kind of the concept. This one's just a little bit more of a messier type one. Just didn't really amalgamate as well just within the fare. I was only able to listen to so much of the song, but just from the arrangements and how it kind of went, it was just not as affable, full blown of one. I feel like it kind of just had like a little bit more frenetic of production on there. I mean, I feel like songs like Do the Dash, Turn Up, and Side Niggas, Ice Cream Soda Pop all had relative vehicle thump and just heavy bass on there along with the song intro. But I feel like Crazy Story was kind of more of like Steph Curry and Trust Issues, but just didn't nail it as well as those particular ones that had, say, within the tone behind it. But yeah, it's just a minor snag within that particular tone. So I look after, yeah, this mixtape is basically going to get a 9.5 out of 10, because 8 out of 9 is pretty excellent just within the pitch behind it. Just her debut project, nailing that many songs, just having the impact, just hitting the ground running as far as that particular kind of goes. Just within the appeal. I'm not sure what the singles were out this project. I guess I could look that up. Just being able to say, I'm not really as full-blown sure what the singles were out this particular product, but I think at least one was probably Steph Curry just within the appeal behind it. I mean, this was her debut product. She was probably only like 19, 20 when she did this, just within the tone. But we'll go ahead and talk about the songs here, but keep in mind these descriptions are going to be shorter because I was only able to listen to so much of the songs just within the fare. So basically, Steph Curry is kind of like a twinkling kind of throwback to like early 2010s trap and mixtape type fare to kind of get here. Just a wide awake, kind of on the prowl, and like some good night traffic to kind of get just within the tone. Definitely reminds me of something Meek Mill, Future, Yo Gotti, some of those type folks would kind of do just within the fare behind it. Just some excellent typeness. Just basically Steph Curry is like standard late 2010s ratchet type music just to get within that particular fare. Just a real nice one. Just great for IG live pitches like that. Just some good type in between type moments and just standard on the prowl typeness to kind of get. I feel like Trust Issues is a nice one. It's like a slugged out kind of vehicle knock about this particular one. It's a blurry kind of cruise around, I'd say. Just some romps and late comic to kind of get here just within the tone behind it. So, yeah, a lot of this on the go within the pitch. Not as many nightclub type songs just within the fair. I feel like maybe Got Me Fucked Up might be one for that. But for the most part, this is just more appreciating like the commerce of just like night just traffic pitches like that. Just kind of is a great accompaniment to just like being on the prowl and some late night creeping just within the fair, whether it's just hitting up Pizza Hut or something like that, or hitting up KFC, one of those type tones, or just some looming, just kind of cruising down city streets, some of that type fair kind of get. But it's just some good. But the loud pack appeal is definitely on this particular product. This works great for like basically like this kind of a more hungry type version of the stuff that City Girls was kind of doing in the late 2010s, I'd have to say. So it definitely has that good pizzazz and overall jazziness about this particular product. I'd have to say some good stuff there. My Young Niggas is another nice one. It's like a looming kind of on the prowl traffic. I'd have to say like a looming kind of on the prowl traffic. I'd have to say about this one. It's pretty similar to Travis Scott's type stuff. This really feels like a leftover from Astro. Really feels like a leftover from Astro World or one of his earlier 2010s mixtapes. I'd have to say just it feels like a leftover from Astro World or one of his earlier albums as far as those pitches kind of happen. This has some heavy bass thump about it, I'd have to say. So a lot of this is pretty, the bass on this product is very knocking. This is a great pickup for like some sound systems, vehicles, pitches like that, just the concept. But you're going to hear this particular album from quite a distance. It's in the ton, just really loud pack and litty just within the fair behind. It's just a real blitzing type project you're going to get here. It just really feels like probably feels more cultivated than what you'd probably realize about the tone behind just the initial kickoffs as that kind of went. Got Me Fucked Up is a nice one. This is like a slinky kind of nice gloss about this particular song. It's like a hella diva kind of stunt song kind of get here just within the appeal. This nice kind of torque song just within the pitch of just like some neighborhood kind of antics and turn up just within the fair behind it. This samples like T.I.'s 24 as far as those pitches kind of happen. This is one that's not quite as much on the prowl, just out and about kind of crusade, not as much out and about kind of crusades and commerce, I'd have to say, not really Aaron's music or just standard fare, I'd have to say. It was just kind of a concept of just like chunking up the deuce, something like that, just kick back, smoke a stogie, some of that type fare just within the neighborhood, Beezy's nearby, some of that type fare, just hella red cups, pitches like that, post up on like IG, some of that type fare, good stuff. Then there's a series of 3 songs on here, Do the Dash, Turn Up, and Side Niggas. All these are very similar, and intros kind of like that as well. All these next 4 songs are just have the similarities of having that hella bass. All 4 of these songs have like a very similar hella bass thump to kind of get on these, but I'll talk about them. So Do the Dash is like a throwback kind of Lil Jon 2000s crunk with like some 2010s trap bass thump about this particular one. Just a nice local jumper to kind of get here. It's very similar within the fashion, but a lot of these, just the pitch behind it, they just really get things jumping, just really get things going, just some good turn up to kind of have within the fair, and just overall just exciting type ones to kind of have. It's just especially nice, good treats. Turn up is just like that. This once again has a similar knock to Do the Dash that I'd say is some continued vehicle knock. I would definitely feel like, and it's just a loud pack for some stunt type songs to kind of get here. So just within the fair, nice, just hella knock to kind of get from a distance, just within the tone behind it, pick up the sounds, just get some pitches like that, have some good times, just be hanging out the window, just having a good time, or just chunking up signs, just being like, fuck yeah, some of that type fair as far as that particular kind of goes. But it's nice, good stuntness to kind of get within that tone. Side Niggas, Ice Cream Soda Pop's a nice one as well. It's like a great 1, 2, 3 punch with Do the Dash and Turn Up. I would definitely feel like about some of these, and this has once again some great local thump to kind of get on here. So these are just some romping songs just within the fair, just kind of having the block here, what you're up to, just within pitches like that, just cruising around, just having some stunt times, even pulling up to nightclubs, some of those type pitches, just being able to get to like the commerce and just enjoying like city traffic, some of that type fare, and just the homies type dap and pitches like that. It's just some good concepts for like standard social aspects of things. So it's just a pretty flashy product, just be able to get some of that. It's just good tones. And then intro's a nice one. It's like a nice kickoff, good song to get tipsy, and sets the crunk pace pretty well. I'd say it feels like ratchet and kind of low-key City Girls flavor to kind of get within that. So just like I was saying, GloRilla's cadence and pitches is very similar to JT and Young Miami, some of those type folks just within the fair behind it. Just really has, basically feels like an automatic Instagram star as far as that particular kind of goes. Just some good loud pack and just social kind of flair to kind of have and finesse, I'd say. So some good pitches for that. So that's the concept. So basically, yeah, 9.5 out of 10. The social score I'll probably give either like a 9.75 or a 10, just within the tone behind it. I just feel like the impact behind this product is just very large. I think the only reason why I wouldn't get a 10 is just because whether or not it had a single. But I feel like enough of this, casual wise, GloRilla is at like GloRilla is kind of currently in her prime as far as those pitches kind of happen. So it's just a good tone, kind of see a lot of this. I think a lot of these songs just have their early fare. But another reason why the social score wouldn't get a 10 is just because this product's a little bit tougher to track down just within the pitch behind it. Probably should be more readily available, but I look after it. A lot of this is just it echoes like the concept of just having like some excellent type stuff on here. Just the pitch behind, plenty of good vehicle knock and cruise arounds, pitches like that. The stunt typeness, just real some good boss up and stunt type flair to kind of have like that Friday night, Saturday night, Thursday night kind of pizzazz as far as that particular kind of happens. Just a couple songs on here like Got Me Fucked Up and possibly like trust issues, some of those type ones that just have like some localized type fare, just clinking red cups and pitches like that as far as that particular one goes. But for the most part, this is just an engaging time. So I'll just go ahead and say a 10 social just within the pitch behind it. It's just good enough within the fare, I'd say. So in terms of the future, like once again, GloRilla dropped her album Glorious in like October 2024. So there's some definitely excellent pitches going to get within that tone. It's November 2024 now as I'm reviewing this just within the pitch. But yeah, this is virtually a classic, just very impactful that she nailed it just right off the bat. Like I was saying, just excellent type fare. Now, once again, I wasn't able to listen to the full albums. I don't know if there's like some beat switch ups or pitches like that, but from the gist of what I got of it, just from like the preview of the songs that were available on Apple, I would definitely say this has the makings of a classic and it's definitely very appealing.